What if I told you that there are areas of the United Kingdom where there is so much crime that the police are afraid to go there themselves? Shadows are starting to develop, even though the sun may not have ceased shining on the British Empire. The frequency of no-go zones, or places where law enforcement is not as present and criminal behaviour is not noticed, is increasing in the United Kingdom. In the video we have for you today, we'll talk about the top 10 no-go zones that even the police are scared to enter. Make sure to listen through to the absolute end to see which 4 neighbourhoods in the UK's most hazardous city you should avoid. Number 10. Belfast. A city that is seeking to claw its way back from a turbulent past under the name of a city that is synonymous with resilience. The city of Belfast, which was previously synonymous with strife, is now confronted with a new issue, as the city streets are being thrown in a shadow of crime rates. In Belfast, there have been 18,358 reported crimes, which results in a crime rate of 49 per 1,000 residents. This is a significant 39% higher than the average crime rate in Northern Ireland. Violence and sexual offences are at the top of the list of worries because they occur more frequently than any other type of crime, with around 16 instances occurring for every 1,000 residents. There are moderate to high difficulties in the city that are associated with drug use and property crimes, such as vandalism and theft. Additionally, there are violent crimes, such as assault and armed robbery, which contribute to the unease that everyone is experiencing. Another factor that contributes to the city's crime figures is stealing and antisocial behaviour, which together offer a complicated picture of the safety situation in Belfast. A question that arises as Belfast develops is whether or not the city's efforts to revitalise and secure its neighbourhoods can keep up with the increasing rate of criminal activity. Number 9. Leeds. Are you fond of taking pleasant strolls with your sweetheart or seeing your children securely play in parks? Perhaps that picture is beginning to fade. Areas such as the city centre, Armley and New Wortley and Hare Hills are becoming no-go zones as a result of the alarming rise in the prevalence of criminal activity. A horrific 172 crimes were committed against every 1,000 people in Leeds during the course of the previous year, as stated in a report that was based on statistics from the Leeds Police Department. With nearly 40,000 offences registered just in 2023, the most common types of crimes in Leeds are sexual offences and acts of violence. In addition, there were 7,888 instances of antisocial behaviour. Even while Leeds is thriving as a centre for technology, many streets are telling a very different narrative. Residents have reported feeling less safe as a result of the stretched resources of the police department. Is this an indication that the United Kingdom is becoming more vulnerable? Number 8. Liverpool. This city, which was the birthplace of the Beatles, was pulsating with the pace of a cultural revolution the entire time. It was once identified with the magic of Merseybeat and the swagger of the dockside. But now, it carries a tune that is more complex. Rumours of a danger present a different picture, particularly for those who are not familiar with the area, despite the fact that some people consider it to be a relatively safe city for tourists. However, the data paints a gloomy picture of the situation. Liverpool is ranked 36th on the list of most dangerous cities in Europe, with a crime index of 48.06. It is closely followed by Craiova, Romania, and Kharkiv, Ukraine at the same position. Toxteth, Anfield, Kirkdale, Norris Green, and Croxteth are some of the neighbourhoods in the United Kingdom that have a reputation for being high in violent crime, burglary, drug activity, and antisocial behaviour at the same time. For example, Anfield, which is considered to be the spiritual home of Liverpool Football Club, plays hosts to large crowds of devoted supporters. Despite the fact that it is a destination of pilgrimage for football fans, even this iconic region struggles with problems like theft and burglary, particularly on days when matches are being played. Number 7. Glasgow. You may remember Glasgow from the past, a city that is completely teeming with activity, with a fearless energy that is carved into its Victorian architecture. Here and now, a new story is being told. Neighbourhoods such as Govan, Anderston and Calton, which were once bustling with activity, are now plagued by terror and violence. With an astounding 1,228 crimes committed per 10,000 residents, Glasgow has been ranked as the second most dangerous city in Scotland, according to the most recent data. Furthermore, the city has recorded the second highest rate of violent crime in the entire country. The effects of crime, on the other hand, are not uniformly dispersed throughout the city. Several neighbourhoods, such as Partick East, Kelvindale and Cardinald, have crime rates that are somewhat lower than the rest of the city. Although Glasgow is still attempting to navigate these stormy times, the issue that remains is whether or not this is the new normal for one of the most renowned cities in Scotland. The sense of safety and community that formerly characterised Glasgow appears to be vanishing as a result of the city's high crime rates, which cast a long shadow over the streets of the city. Number 6. Nottingham, a town that is steeped in legend, where stories of Robin Hood and his merry men reverberate through the streets that are made of cobblestone. On the other hand, does this location possess a heroic virtue, or does it conceal a more sinister secret beneath the surface? Historical recollections of a bygone era evoke thoughts of a more tranquil Nottingham. In the past, residents were able to go around freely and had a sense of relative safety. At this point, however, even the police appear to be powerless. According to the findings of this analysis from Crime Rate UK, Nottingham is essentially the same as the capital of criminal activity in Nottinghamshire. They assign it a score of 50.43, which places it in a position that is practically identical to that of cities such as Rome or Barcelona, which are well known for their business operations. It is one of the top 5 most dangerous major cities in England, Wales and Northern Ireland, and Nottingham is one of those cities. There were a staggering 125 crimes for every 1,000 persons in the year of 2022, which is a staggering 51% greater than the average crime rate in the rest of Nottinghamshire. Number 5. London. London is a location where aspirations come to life on the banks of the Thames, and it is comparable to a crown jewel. However, it is quite disheartening to observe that these dreams are gradually disintegrating due to the fact that no one is paying attention to clean up the mess. When it comes to crime reports, certain neighbourhoods such as Westminster, Camden, Southwark, Lewisham, Lambeth and Hackney are mentioned more frequently. Statistics depict a picture that is troubling in this regard. In the year 2022, the overall crime rate in London reached 95 crimes per 1,000 people, with sexual offences and violent crimes leading the charts. Even though major tourist sites have a reputation for being quite safe, experienced visitors are aware that they should always be on the lookout, particularly when they are travelling at night with valuables in their possession. Is it appropriate for a city in the first world, such as London, to be in such a predicament? Number 4. Manchester. A city with a thriving cultural scene, Manchester is also the birthplace of some of the most famous football players in the world. However, a separate story is being told that is taking place behind the Victorian facade and cobblestone streets. How unpleasant is it to talk about Manchester, not because of its illustrious history, but because of the challenges it faces in the present day with regard to crime? We cannot deny that the figures are cause for alarm. According to estimates, Manchester has a stunning crime rate of 383 crimes per 1,000 people, which is far higher than the crime rate in other major cities in the United Kingdom. Certain regions of the city are plagued by a variety of criminal activities, including stealing, burglary, property crimes, and even antisocial behaviour, which cast a shadow on the city's allure. According to the statistics of the police, there are an astounding 200,000 crimes that are reported each year, including a worrisome number of violent events. Number 3. Blackpool. Blackpool no longer enjoys the same unspoiled sunshine that it formerly did. The statistics present a picture that is very troubling. According to Numbio's crime index, Blackpool had a remarkable 162 crimes committed per 1,000 residents in 2022. Topping the rates of other towns such as Liverpool, Manchester, and even London. That is equivalent to a staggering 151% increase in the rate of criminal activity. In addition, more than 30% of these offences are considered to be violent, which casts a shade over the notion that the city is a carefree place. The reputation of Blackpool has been tarnished, and it appears that the city is finding itself on the wrong side of headlines with increasing regularity. Some people blame the increasing turmoil on the proliferation of party organisations, pointing the finger of blame at them. Therefore, is it possible to have a vacation in Blackpool that is risk-free? This is not always the case. Knowledge is power as far as the cautious traveller is concerned. Squires Gate and St Anne's North are 2 examples of neighbourhoods that provide a safe sanctuary for residents. However, it is essential to exercise caution in red flag zones such as North East Centre, North Shore and Lowry Terrace, which is often regarded as the most hazardous route in the city. Number 2. Birmingham. You might think that Birmingham is a cool destination to visit, especially considering all of the interesting things that it has to offer. On the other hand, beneath that gleaming facade, there is some rather concerning content that is taking place. Having a crime index of 63.56, it has been determined that it is one of the most hazardous cities in the United Kingdom. There were 145 crimes committed for every 1,000 persons that lived there in the year 2022. As a result, it is the most dangerous large city in the West Midlands and the second most dangerous city in the country overall. The level of danger in this town is ranked 245th out of all the cities, towns, and villages in the country. Even though Birmingham has a lot of fun things to see and do, you still need to be careful, just like you would in any other large city. In addition to the very typical occurrence of burglaries, there are also incidents of vandalism and the setting of fires. Particularly dangerous is the central business district of the city, as well as neighbourhoods such as Bordesley Green, Aston, and Acox Green. Number 1. Coventry. The city of Coventry stands out as one of the most dangerous cities in the United Kingdom. The crime index for this area is a staggering 64.68, making it one of the highest in the nation. Clearly, the city of Coventry in the United Kingdom is struggling with a complicated criminal environment. In the year 2023, it was reported that the overall crime rate in Coventry was 127 crimes per 1,000 people. This figure is 7% higher than the general crime rate in the West Midlands, which was 118 crimes per 1,000 population during the daytime hours. However, despite this, Coventry is regarded as the safest city in the West Midlands, despite the fact that it is among the top 20 most hazardous cities in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The most common type of criminal activity in Coventry are sexual offences and acts of violence, with a total of 16,350 documented offences in the year 2023. The crime rate in Coventry, on the other hand, is expected to be 25% higher than the West Midlands and 43% higher than the national average for England, Wales, and Northern Ireland in the year 2024. With regard to these 10 cities, what are your thoughts? Were there any that we overlooked? Leave a comment below and let us know.